Are you ready to eat, sir?
Irving residents living in poverty and homelessness got a free breakfast and an opportunity to help improve services by answering a few questions.
We have a need to know how many folks are actually homeless in the city of Irving. And in order to do that, we started last year this process of providing a location for breakfast, and we've been pretty successful getting people in.
The Irving Point-in-Time Homeless Count and Census is sponsored by the Poverty and Homeless Coalition. It's an annual event that is part of a nationwide effort.
People come in for breakfast, and during their breakfast we ask them questions about their status. We have teams of people that have gone out in the community to look for people who are homeless to survey them.
The information gathered is compiled by the Dallas Metro Homeless Alliance, along with other cities' data, and put into a report. The report is then handed over to the City of Irving's Housing and Urban Development Board, which then makes funding recommendations.
We think that it's an important activity for the City of Irving, and making this an awareness in the City of Irving. You know, homelessness is something that has a stigma behind it, but we want to make the City of Irving, our council and our leaders, aware that there's a problem and that we are here to help.
It has been pretty successful when we compile this information to a point where we get to know exactly those services that are needed. Housing, of course, is the top item, but there's all kinds of medical situations out there. There's dental care that's needed. We know about it. They don't know about it. And when we come together like this and start talking with these homeless folks, we make them aware.
The Poverty and Homeless Coalition is made up of various organizations, faith-based groups, the Irving School District, and the City of Irving. Their goal is to help improve the lives of men, women, and children who live in poverty and homelessness in the community.
It could happen to anybody, really, and what this event proves is that there's services that we need to find a way to deliver in Irving, because there is, a bit of a problem. I'd say probably the bigger problem is poverty and living with poverty, but there are some homeless people that are going to need our services.
The breakfast was held at the First United Methodist Church. Between 50 to 100 people show up every year. After enjoying the free meal and participating in the survey, attendees receive donated clothing and items collected by the Irving School District.
Sweatpants, jeans, scarves, and hats.
Karen Spicer is the executive director of the Poverty and Homeless Coalition.
The bigger issue in the city of Irving is poverty, the working poor, and we have people that work 3 or 4 jobs that maybe in a down economy lost 2 out of the 4. So we want to augment that income. We want to encourage them to stay on the job. We want to reward them for the right behavior.
Feedback from the survey is critical to finding out what's working and what's not.
One of the biggest complaints from our clients is it's difficult to get to services, or it takes all day. So they may show up at 8 o'clock and sit in a lobby for 4 hours, which means they're missing work to get groceries, and then they may lose their job. So we're looking at innovative ways to get them the services that they need to support them in a workplace.
Ideas born from last year's survey are already in the works, such as a one-stop website.
If you're a client and you go on and you type in your situation, it will pop up all the services that are available here in Irving that have availability for your need, so that you don't have to drive around and you don't have to call 60 different programs to find out who has groceries that day, or who has rental money or utilities money or educational programs.
Another idea is extended food pantry hours.
One of the big issues is food pantries are available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and then what happens? And as we found out working with the school district, that a ton of children go home on Friday and don't eat until Monday. And we're learning that, there may be ways that we can extend our food pantry hours. We may be looking at opening an emergency food pantry in the evening or after hours.
Ideas like these prove how beneficial the poverty and homeless count is to the residents of Irving living in poverty and homelessness.
I think the big portion of our population are the near homeless folks, those folks that are individuals that are just a mortgage payment away, or a disaster or occurrence in their life, and they could be faced with homelessness. So that's a big portion of our population that could be on the brink. So I think the awareness that we can bring to this issue is very important.
The results of the homeless count will be available within the next few weeks. To find out how you can help, visit the Poverty and Homeless Coalition's website at www.irving-poverty-homeless-coalition.org. For CitySource, I'm Valerie Mason.